Bob Costa, I want to turn to you to discuss Trump's economic speech in New York, where you are. I know you were at the speech today on the economy. As we've been talking about most of this election cycle, this is what our polling shows one of Trump's strength, at least in terms of how people are viewing him and the economy in terms of our polling. What did he say today?
Good to be with you, Caitlin. So for former President Donald Trump, this was, in a sense, a trip home. New York City, the place he grew up. He grew up in Jamaica, Queens. And you see now him speaking to these business leaders. I was there in the back of the room. Many CEOs there, investor types. And he was making a pitch to them to hang around, to stick with him in this campaign season, to not be in any way tempted politically to move toward Vice President Harris, who has her own proposals on small business policies. She just this week rolled out in New Hampshire her ideas on providing incentives for small businesses when it comes to possible tax breaks. Trump also underscored his message on trade, and it's important to note that he keeps coming back to trade. And one of the reasons I'm told he's doing this is because he believes in 2016 it's the trade issue that resonated with working voters. So he was talking to CEOs today, talking to Wall Street, but he was at the same time making sure that those workers out in the States knew that he was going to have some kind of punitive policy on trade should people try to push jobs or manufacturing abroad.
Yeah, Bob, that's such an interesting dynamic to me, this kind of split screen, but also a coalition of kind of wealthy donor base and the working voter base that Trump is trying to connect. And we saw him do that successfully in 2016. I do want to play a little bit of what he said today. Here's a taste.
My plan will rapidly defeat inflation, quickly bring down prices, and reignite explosive economic growth. Kamala Harris will take more money out of American pockets. My plan will leave the typical family with many thousands of dollars more than they have right now.
So, Bob, this seems to be kind of the centerpiece of the Trump campaign's argument to voters who are still feeling the effects of inflation. Even if it is coming down, prices are still high.
And they're competing right now for those voters who are a little bit on the fence about who to blame. If you blame the Biden administration and Biden-Harris administration for this economic pain you might feel, you've probably already decided to either sit out the election or vote for the Republicans. If you blame big business for raising prices and you attribute all of your economic pain to them, you're probably going to give the Democrats and Vice President Harris a chance here. What you see Harris and Trump doing is they're looking at tax rates. They're looking at the Trump tax cuts from 2017, and they're trying to come up with that sweet spot politically. For Harris, for example, it's about increasing taxes on corporations and wealthy Americans to a point, but not doing it in a way that she seems too progressive or too populist in the eyes of some of those people she wants on her side, traditional Republicans, the Liz Cheneys of the Philadelphia suburbs, the Atlanta suburbs, the Detroit suburbs, those people who might have concerns about Trump's character, but they don't want to just vote on character alone. They want some kind of economic rationale for voting for a Democrat if they're a traditional centrist or Republican. So Harris wants a sweet spot that makes it palatable for them to stay with her. And Trump's trying to make sure he gets the worker and the business person.